Hey guys, I'm Manson9132 and I am the Robot Wars Guru. And it's time for part 2 of the new Arena build diary. In part 1, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But if you have seen it, I'll just go over a little bit of a reminder. So far, I've measured out where I want the hazards to be. I've cut out the pit, floor flipper, and third unknown hazard squares for the moment. And I've also drilled holes in the arena sidewalls and around the base of the arena so I can attach it. Because the problem is, if you try and insert screws when there's no holes made, it splits the wood, and that of course means it's unusable, so that's why I did that. In this part, we are going to start painting it, and then once it's painted, I'm hoping to start putting it together. So, to get on with the painting process, I've actually made some stencils, because obviously I don't want to paint the CPZs the same colour as the arena floor, that will look really rubbish, and the same with the drop zone section as well, so I've just made these like little stencils. They're not great, I'll admit, they're not overly technical, but I can sort of lighten them across the lines of the CPZ, so they sort of do that, if you can see, and then just spray paint around them, and that should stop the spray paint from going where I don't want it to. So fingers crossed this will all work, and I'm just going to be using a little bit of white tack just to stick them on to the wood, and yeah, I'm going to go do that now, and you will see me when I've done that. So the stencils have all been put in place, as you can see. The plan is to spray paint around here, and then this will block this bit, and then I shouldn't really be going over far enough for me to cover that bit, so that's all good. Same with there and down there, and of course I've got the drop zone square there. So now all that's in place, I've got to take this downstairs and paint it. And the colours I'm going to be using are black for the arena floor and silver for the arena sidewalls. Right, so I did the first coat, went to play football with my niece, came back, and this, as you can see by the line here, had fallen forwards and landed on that, so I've got to redo that a little bit. And then once I've done that little bit, I'm hoping to do a second coat on all of it, and hopefully that will be enough. I mean, it's looking pretty okay at the moment. That doesn't need to be full, obviously, it's just the top bit that's a bit of a worry. So yeah, fingers crossed it'll be okay. Shut up, birds. Right, it's now night time. These have been drying for a while. Pretty certain they're completely dry now, yes. So it's time to remove these and see just how well they work as stencils. I'm not holding my breath, but here we go. Oh god, come on. Get off. That's not bad, is it? So it should be the same for the rest. Now let's just see how this looks. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? Not too bad at all. I consider that a success. So, having removed all the stencils, there has been a little bit of paint that has gone places it shouldn't, but for the most part it's been successful, and it's all fixable, those little issues. It's not like all this is black, you know, which is really nice. So thankfully I can fix all those issues, and I intend to start doing that now by painting the hazard areas. Now, I was originally going to spray paint, but two issues. One, the weather here in the UK is shite at the moment. It's absolutely horrendous. It's like a fucking rainforest out there, so I can't really get out there to do any spray painting. And two, I actually found the two paints I used for the old arena. I've still got plenty of each, and I may as well use them while I've got them. So yeah, I'm going to do the rough painting now, so that just basically means filling out the areas, and then once I've done a few coats of that, I'm going to do the more detailed painting, like painting hazard stripes around the sides and the cross in the drop zone. So you're about to see me doing that. And voila! The painting is pretty much done, thank goodness. So as you can see, you've got the CPZs, the 4 hazard zones, sorry, are all marked with a red outer edge, and it just looks really nice. I did the rough coat, and then I got my very talented wife to do the more in detail painting because she's got a much better steady hand than I have when it comes to painting. Really happy with how this looks. So I guess what's next is to put it all together. And to put the arena together, I'm going to be using my trusty power drill. Again, I love this thing, it's beautiful. And of course, some screws. Now the screws I'm going to be using are going to be the 40, the 4x40mm screws. So basically these ones. The reason why is because they're thin enough to not split the wood, but long enough to actually get a sturdy grip and hold, so it should hold everything together nicely. The old arena was put together using Gorilla Glue and was falling apart badly, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing just how much better it is with screws. So here's my plan with doing this. I'm going to take these 2 screws, I'm going to put one in this hole here, the other in this hole here, but I'm not going to put them all the way through. I'm going to do it just so they're poking out a little bit, and then that way I can line them up with the holes here and here, and then I can drill them in properly, and then once that's done I can then put the rest of the screws in along here. So fingers crossed that will work. Ignore that weird scratching sound, that's the cat being an arse. So in spite of being a perfect human being, even I make mistakes occasionally, and it turns out I made a bit of a dumb one. Unfortunately, I painted the wrong side of this sidewall, which might not seem such a problem until you remember that, of course, I already drilled holes not only in the side hole panels, but also in the arena base as well. Which unfortunately means these holes do not line up with the holes on that arena. So it doesn't matter. I thought, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll just turn it upside down and just paint the other side. And as you can see by this, unfortunately, yeah, I kind of ran out of spray paint. So this is where a much more patient person would either A, order some more spray paint, or B, re-drill the holes in the wood or in the base. I'm not a patient man, as we already know, so instead I'm going to be using duct tape. It's a bit of a cheap way of doing it, I admit, but I'm thinking 1 strand of duct tape should be enough, because I do have other plans as well with this sidewall. Ta-da! And here we have one of the sidewalls. As you can see, I used duct tape, like I said I would, and then I've put some hazard tape on there as well to sort of give it this cool little, hazard look. So now the sidewalls are all done, it's time to screw them to the base. Here it is! Oh my god, I'm so stoked. I cannot believe how good this has come out. Look at it, it's just, the side walls are all level, and the paint's come out really nice, and it's big, and there's lots of space, and oh man, I'm so happy. I cannot believe I've done this. I genuinely did not think I was going to do this good of a job on this, so the fact that I have is just, well, it's incredible. We've got the polycarb sides, obviously there'll be a camera aimed there, as you can see, and you can see through that nicely, so there's no issues there, and I'm just chuffed. Obviously it's not done yet, there's some extra bits to do, but that's for another day, and I think I've done more than enough for this part. And of course, as you can see, we've got the pullbacks here and the tombstone hex, but just for a bit of size and scale purposes. So if I put tornado there, that's how big the pit is, and it's just I genuinely cannot believe it. Oh man, I'm so stoked. I cannot believe how good a job I did on this. I'm chuffed to bits. Well, that's it for part 2 of this arena build diary. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time for part 3, where I do the finishing details, the final touches as it were, such as the pip mechanism, the floor flipper mechanism, and a couple of other bits as well. So, until then, I've been Anson 9132, the Robot Wars Guru, and I'll see you next time.